think one of my deeper memories would be, um, over 10 years ago, at least, over at my grandma's house. She had this N64, and she loved playing Mario Party so much, and she would hate you if you ever took her Mario from her. And she always had to be Mario. And it's funny, I still have a picture of her right next to me because she did end up passing away. But I had a great time. That's why I like thinking about it. And any time we're over there, we're always on the N64, and it was me, my cousins, my family. We all were together, and it was amazing. And it was one of probably the last times that my family was really together. And after my grandma passed away, it was like our family kind of split apart. She was like the one thing holding us together, and we were always over there playing games because it's one of our favorite things to do as our families play games together. Her bringing games to me and to us together has really helped keep us together because that's what we still love doing together, and that's why I'm so close to my family. And it's fun, and we actually still on our Switch play Mario Party together, and it's so much fun to do. And it just feels like we're all back together, and we all play our characters, and none of us pick Mario. We always let Mario be open. Whenever we're together, we still talk about how Grandma was always the quickest at the mashing games, and she was the one thing keeping my mom and my aunt really close at the time, and she wouldn't allow any arguing whenever you were over there. So everyone always had a fun time. And she always made sure all the kids were having a great time before the adults because she raised them all. So she was like, my kids, whatever. Grandkids, come on in. Come on, I got the sweets for you. It's like, here's all the bread rolls, here's the butter. It's like she would pamper us so badly. It was so much fun. It's been, I think, more than 5 years since she passed away, and that was very hard, especially since beforehand she was going through cancer, and it was a hard time. It was hard to watch. It's hard to talk about. um and it was an awful sight to see, but we still were all around for her at the last moments. We were there for her. We were always helping take care of her and my grandpa, 'cause they were both doing bad at one point, but the good times were always the best. You won't believe it, but there was a farmer called McDonald behind her house. And he had so many bulls and cows over there. And what we'd do is we'd run over into his field, get one of the bulls, we'd wave our hands at the bulls to get them to chase us back to the fence and jump through at the last second. And our grandma would come out and she would be like, "You stop letting those damn cows chase you. I'll come out there." Oh, it was so much. It was fun though. It's good memories instead of bad ones. Don't worry, I'm only crying a little, just a little bit. I really love my grandma.
It's alright if you don't want to talk about it, but how were you told that she passed away?
um, it started off with my grandpa passing away first, which made it a lot harder on her. He passed away 6 months before she did because he had a very badly infected leg, and he was so weak. He was bedridden for at least 2 years, and we were always over there taking care of him. He always had an upbeat mood, even though he's still in pain. My mom came in and she was crying, and then I ran to my room when I heard my grandpa passed away. I couldn't believe it. And then 6 months later, uh, she had cancer, and her hair had fallen out. She could barely function, really. I had to go over to her house and help feed her. Really, she couldn't even use her hands. I could barely do that with a straight face. My eyes were watering up when I was doing that too. And we had moved grandpa's bed out into the living room so she could lay there and watch her shows and we could all be around her. My mom, my aunt, and my uncle were over at their house whenever she finally passed in her living room. They all stood up, went to the living room. My mom just said it was like a feeling they got, and they all just stood up and walked in, and they knew kind of what happened had happened. And she came home. Uh, she came home and she told me. it wasn't as shocking as my grandpa was, but it still hit deep knowing that she wasn't gonna be there. And so, uh, um, sorry. Oh boy, time she made me laugh. She had her really old box computer she had set up in her living room so she could watch her shows, do her little online Jeopardy wheel at the same time. And it was so funny because she'd get so mad at the Jeopardy game. She'd slam her desk and say, "Damn it, this game's rigged. I knew the word. Damn it, they're screwing me over." I'd laugh so hard every single time. And she'd get so mad whenever we beat her in Mario Party. She's like, "Why are you always stealing stars from me? Damn it, steal stars from him. You're always picking on me. Come on." And we just laugh so hard. Oh, gosh.
If you could tell the entire world one thing, what would it be?
Mhm. If you gave me a microphone to stand in front of everybody in the world and they'd hear me for one sentence. It might sound cliche, but enjoy the friends around you and be there for them as much as you want them to be there for you. Spend as much time with them as you can. You should make it memorable. Enjoy the time you have. They might not always be there. Ah, my eyes.